And another thing, been shamed for being a victim, shamed for being shamed, shamed for pointing out other people who shame others, shamed for everything, shamed for my hat, shamed for my scarf, all of it. All of it. I can't stand. I want my hug box.
What are you doing?
I couldn't get a therapy appointment on demand. Usually they email back when I cancel, but I'm just talking about my feelings. On a lighter note, I do have to say I think this whole trip was divinely inspired. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve. Marc's around. Say hi, Marc.
Hey, everybody.
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Marc. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, but we are on a bit of a vacay, as you can see. So I'm having my Diet Virgin Cuba Libre. It's a Diet Coke. And we're just taking it easy ourselves. I'm gonna get rid of my hat because, you know, I could use a little color myself. So I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other as best you can. Today we are going to revisit our fair lady, Chantal, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, The Beezer Show, and Foodie Beauty again. Now, since the last time we met, I wasn't here last week. Having a rough time with some stuff lately. Watch during the week's videos if you want to catch up on that. Usually the Saturday crew is like, hey, talk about Foodie. But some other stuff was going on. And that's why there was no video last week. You might have caught up on our Sunday chat a little bit. So I'm going to bring us back as best I can from 2 weeks to now. And we're going to do it pretty quickly. But we're going to talk about catching up to now. She's in Cuba. Coming back today. Yesterday. Tomorrow. Soon. Which stunned the hell out of me. And then there is still more he said, she said, drama type stuff between her and Natter. I guess it's not between Minx and Natter, it would be her and Natter, going on. And a weekend that took place right before she went to Cuba, where she allegedly got it on with both Dee Dee and Natter. According to Chantal. Which, you know, why judge? Draw your own conclusions. So, we'll go through and catch on some of that stuff first. So catching up to how the hell does Foodie Beauty have a channel again? If you only get your information from me, thank you. But in the interest of being well-rounded, let's support other community reactors too, reviewers. So catching up, Chantal's Facebook, or her Foodie Beauty channel was down. I have FB. The Beezer Show, in the meantime, went up, which was her new channel, which had an office sketch feel to it. Now, on the day the Beezer Show went up, which was a couple days after her channel went down, maybe, it went up that morning, went down maybe an hour or two later, and then went back up again. Chantal's way of addressing is to say she has connections. Okay. So the Beezer channel went back up. Also, she had set up 3 to 4 platforms where you could go see her on places that aren't YouTube, because if she can't monetize it, she's not going to do it. So we had Patreon, what was the other? OnlyFans, the other shows that are, the other outlets like that where you have to pay a monthly fee. And I suspect that her most loyal Stockholm Syndromed VIBs probably paid on all these forums. Now, if you go back and look, was there much there? No. There was just enough to get paid for each one. And according to Chantal, she may or may not pursue doing these further. She likes to do get the most profitable thing from the little work as possible. And she's maintained when Foodie Beauty, the channel, was down. That's what she wanted. She wanted it back. She wanted all the work of the 90K back and all her Beezers back. Well, so the Beezer Show was awful. It still is awful. There's all these different people who are playing her. She's playing the Minx was one of the characters, and Jade, Jai, and she talked about herself kind of in the third person. It was very annoying and totally unbelievable, and probably too much work for her to do. So, created little or no content, I said, for the other paid channels, and then she got Foodie Beauty back. How? I don't know. She appealed and won, I suppose. I guess that's how things shake down. So she gets it back. I'm assuming it's still monetized. People are sending her super chats and things. So it was kind of like, it was a blip on the radar, pretty much, for her. Maybe a scary blip, unless she was privy to knowledge the rest of us didn't have. But it spooked her a little bit. Just a little. But she's back to her old, smiling, smug self on this trip that she's on now. So, I suspect she feels no sort of way about keeping any of those members' money, even though she didn't put any content up. When we were subscribed to OnlyFans last time, the gist was, hey, you paid for a monthly membership, but I wasn't giving you daily content. I don't know where you got that idea. And we got like 2 or 3 pictures, maybe a video, and that was it. It was not my cup of tea on OnlyFans. So, and then you all get gaslit for signing up. No one made you guys sign up. I just dangled the carrot of friendship to people who did. So that's where we catch up. That's where Chantal's channel went down and came back up. And in the interim, the Beezer channel came up with all her little parody crap, which was hard to follow, stupid. Even Pete's thought it was stupid, you could tell. Hi, Pete's, I see you. I hope you're doing okay. So that goes. So now that we're back as Foodie Beauty, are we celebrating? Well, she had her deserved victory dance, I would say, because her whole livelihood was like pretty much taken and then given back. Whether or not I think her job is respectable or contributes anything to the world is not relevant at this point. She's just excited that she got what she thought of as her job back and the way she makes money, and it came back, and it's all she does. So happy for her to get it back in place, and she was very proud of herself for having done that, and was like, F you, Charlie Gold, and the people who tried to take me down, and the haters, and the this, and the victim, and the that, and the that. It must be so hard to be so perpetually misunderstood all the time. No wonder she rages. The world is cruel to her. Very cruel. Deliberately. We're all conspiring. As soon as Chantal leaves the room, we conspire. So Cuba. So all of a sudden, she's going to Cuba. This is like about a week ago. So we're all caught up. She's back now. Now she's going to Cuba. I guess she got last month's AdSense, which she said was going to be about 30K. Whatever. It's enough. She makes enough. We'll say that. To live comfortably. Not enough to be the kind of snob she is, because rich people know that she doesn't make a lot of money. She's rich compared to a lot of people that hang out on YouTube all day, but she's not like... People with money don't think Chantal has money. She doesn't act like she has money. So she decides to go to Cuba. Why? Why anything? Now, I personally thought this was horseshit, that she was going to go to Cuba. Absolutely thought it was horseshit. I was like, there's no way she'll go. She's planned 2 Eurobees. We were going to go here. We were going to go there. All other things I think that were kind of wrapped up in it, though, too. So the week that she's spending in Cuba was preceded by a weekend that she had spent. Guess where she spent it? Guess where she spent it? Yes. She wasn't in Disneyland. She went to Natter's. Okay. So she went over to Natter's, who there's a restraining order involved right now, and she has charges pending against him. Okay. So if he reaches out to her, he can go to jail. She can call his phone a few thousand times, and she's scot-free. If he replies once, she can screenshot it and send it to the police, apparently. So I was dead ass wrong with her going to Cuba. But as she got there, she started explaining the weekend prior that she had left from his place to go to the airport to go on her vacation, whatever she's having. And that during the interim while she was there, she was supposed to be had a romantic relations with both Natter and Dee Dee, allegedly. Okay. She fits this in with her victim status, that this also happened because she's a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault. It's at this point, from reading everyone's comments, and this isn't meant to be a dry joke or anything, it's just an observation. So this is not to take away anyone's story or their recovery if they've been in a situation where they've been abused. I've said I've had a one-off situation with sexual abuse, but I wasn't in a relationship, so I don't have the personal insight. But at this point, it seems like any reaction at all is a normal reaction to abuse. Because she's had all of them, and all of them have been okay as far as her in the hug box. Any reaction, up to and including her going after him, blasting music 4 hours in the middle of the night, outside his window, calling him a couple thousand times. Her words. Marc will join us later. Marc, you will join us later, right?
I will.
To iron out some details and give you a little bit more info. But what popped up for me was this idea of victim status. Is it forever? Is it perpetual? At what point can a victim be the perpetrator too? Are feelings of fear so real that we chase down the person who hurts us? Or stalk them? You know, was she kidnapped over to his house? You know, she's pretty much decided that she lives on impulse and other people's, and she's impulse and reaction to other people's behavior. So nothing's her fault. And if she does it on a whim, oh, I'm impulsive. And if she, you know, I don't know. But she's trying to reframe the whole Natter situation. She's trying to keep victim status so she can still receive the sympathy. But also trying to stay in contact with him. But then because she doesn't like the arrangement of Dee Dee stays. At best, you're a third. Otherwise, bye. She felt disrespected in that. She felt that. But that's all she's going to get, it seems like, at this point. But she got her channel back. Maybe he'll cut her some slack. But I'm sorry. I mean, situation that she was in, where she alleged that she was, I mean, I can see him being verbally abusive. But just because I can see it and imagine it doesn't mean it's documented and that it's happened. Now, on the channel, yeah, he's been a dick. The clothes thing, that was a dick move. Putting on all her clothes. It was funny, depending on your idea of funny. To me, it wasn't funny because I don't like Natter. I don't like Natter at all. I wouldn't say Natter is a victim of her behaviors, but how would you feel if someone who you have a restraining order against you, so you can't call them, you can't talk to them, rolls up to your house and blasts music for 4 hours in the middle of the night? Or so. Like that. Comes over to your house. Now, he doesn't drive. He's not going to her place. He's not seeking her. He's not calling her. Any of this. She's inviting it in. So, at what point is Chantal responsible for her own behavior? Is it all in reaction to initially what happened to her, and she's scot-free with responsible decision-making for herself until when? Until when? Abuse isn't an individual's fault, but recovery and going forward is also the responsibility of a person who's been hurt. Dragging it around and throwing it in everyone's face and throwing it in the face of everyone that you've been abused, except your abuser. She's mad at everyone about her abuse except Natter, it seems like. And Dee Dee. She's more mad now at Dee Dee because, you know, allegedly they... So... Anyway, I need to step back for a second because I'm feeling a little... Marc?
Yeah,
Could you come in here, please? I need a sidecar.
I could.
Thank you.
I'm here.
You guys know Marc.
Hey, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Where are we?
We call me Cuban Pete.
I'm not
I'm the king of the rumba beat. When I play the maracas, I go cheeky boom, cheeky boom. So anyway, back to shaming people. So we had talked about up till now, the week getting up to Chantal going away to Cuba, and the weekend before she left, where she described being put into a situation with Natter and Dee Dee, and they did what folks do. And how she was uncomfortable with it and blamed him for it.
Always the victim.
And, you know, other situations like that. We also have Marc as the in-house drug and alcohol specialist. And Chantal, admittedly, has had a lot of substance use.
Yeah.
Her own
Yeah,
words.
yeah,
We don't even need to. And she says she's not using edibles in Cuba.
Oh.
And she's not doing anything else.
So
So...
she's doing something.
Well... And the curiousness of the speed at which she went to Cuba on very little planning.
Very curious.
Anyone ever see Locked Up Abroad? So what do you think's going on, Marc?
Well, I find her particularly irritating. Okay, it's real hard to. Not that she was a real peach before all of this.
No,
but it's been like kind of hard to watch her. Her channel went down. And I personally feel that her channel should still be down. That's just my personal opinion for all the shenanigans that went on and all that. I really do. And even if she had learned a lesson or learned something from it, and the channel came back up, I probably would be a little okay with that. But she learned nothing. She's more righteous and smug than ever. When the channel came back, she threw it in everybody's face, and she's, it's just plain sickening to watch.
I know. I thought she deserved her victory
opinion.
lap, but victory laps by definition are insufferable.
Yes,
often
they are. But I do think the point is that I don't think she should have her channel back. She didn't learn anything. She did, and it's going to continue. We haven't seen the end of any of that stuff.
No.
And maybe it'll go down again.
We're going to see the girls again, I'm sure.
I'm sure we are. I can hardly wait for that one. I don't know. And on a side note, I have to give credit where credit's due. Okay, the Beezer show. Okay, what up? Okay, it was what it was. Okay, but
it was more effort than she put in.
Exactly. It got her off her butt and doing something. It was creative. It was. I mean, she had to think of that scenario up and those characters. And so, all right, I'll throw you a little bone there, okay?
It was more than nothing. It was more work than I think she's had to do in a long time.
Yes, it was.
So,
but that aside, okay, when she said she was going to Cuba, my first thought was yours.
Drug mule.
Right. Well, at first I was like, yeah, right, that's not going to happen at all.
Well,
she's not going to go. But then I thought, very interesting, drug mule, because it was so fast. There was no planning. You know how expensive flights and everything are right now. You book ahead of time, you save money. That's what a lot of people do when they're planning a vacation like she supposedly was. It was very, very quick. And it just, I don't know, wouldn't it be something if that came to be? We'll say. Now, that's just speculation and gossip. I mean, but pretty interesting. I just found it very curious that she went so quickly. Yeah. And as far as the drugs go, forget it. Okay, so in my opinion, a person just doesn't stop like she claims she did. She would be going through something, maybe she brought some with her. She has plenty of places to hide things. I mean, she does. Maybe not. I don't know. She was drinking a lot on the trip. That's one thing that people do when they're coming down. They seek anything that they can take to try to, get a feeling.
Food, booze, or her,
anything.
Probably her go-tos.
I can't comment. I don't know. It's her behavior is bizarre. It always is bizarre. It's bizarre here in Cuba too. I thought, okay, all right, she's going to Cuba. Maybe we'll see a nice little video, not a live stream, of the local culture, of those really cool retro cars. Maybe, I don't know, a nice video showing where she's
something.
Just so far, it's been very, very little.
She's not leaving the resort.
No.
And I don't think she plans to.
Even if she stayed at the resort, there's more to see. Like, it's just... Well, anyway, that's beside the point. So, as far as the drugs go, we shall see. She did not stop. There's no way that she stopped what she was doing and just stopped and is, like, totally normal. I don't know. She's really not normal.
Is she ever?
I don't know, right? But anyway, so there's a couple things that I just wanted to mention here because, what if she doesn't have her fix with her? And, you're traveling on a plane and stuff, you would think you wouldn't have your fix with you. You can't bring that stuff with you unless it's legal. She either hid it or she had a connection there or found someone there or something. There's a million ways to go about it. Drug users are crafty people.
This is true.
We are, So, I don't know. More will be revealed about that, I'm sure, as it always does. It comes out in the wash, But speaking solely about her, behaviors, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I'm just going to pick one out because I don't want to yap your ear off. Yes, it is. But one thing that really stood out to me was and these are her words, this isn't speculation, this happened. Chantal, like, judging Dee Dee, like, so hard, calling her smug, and what a pathetic person for sitting at the kitchen table and lying for Natter. Oh my, do you remember this picture? Do you remember what happened here? Yeah. Yeah, come on. I mean, talk about hypocritical, and talk about what did you say? Anytime she says something like that, she's like talking about herself.
Yeah, when she's talking about Dee Dee, you simp at a table lying to someone covering for him. She's talking about her.
She's talking about her.
She's talking
she
about
did
her.
all this.
And if she hates herself for doing it, talk to your therapist about it.
Right.
Don't yell at Dee Dee because she's an idiot too.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. And all of this, and this, okay. This victim mentality thing, okay, this thing has just gone on way too long. I'm just so over it, okay? But, okay, again, these are her words, and I'll show it to you in 1 second, right? When this whole thing, when, Natter was arrested because of her, like, all this stuff going on, and then she said outright, I still can't believe this, where she said that, oh, yeah, she wants the restraining order lifted, but still wants him charged, so she can still sleep with him. Okay.
Like, I wanted to get the restraining order dropped, but not the charges, so I could sleep with him, but still charge him. Oh, fuck, I'm such an idiot.
Is that how victims react to?
Victims, right? And then also her words, she says, that she texts him thousands and thousands of times calling him an MFer. And, that she verbally abuses him for hours and hours on end, and actually kind of laughs about it and stuff. I mean, this is not a victim. This, this is
a perpetrator.
So frustrating. But aren't we happy that the rages are back? Oh yes. Yeah. Community tab rages, video rages, live rages. Again, it's kind of like this behavior, and how you want to be perceived to people, and she doesn't care. There's no filter except for the filters, if you know what I'm saying. There's no filter on her mouth. She doesn't care, and this is how, she's portraying herself with these crazy rage things, and, always being the victim. And can I also say, I'm sorry, but the last thing in the world that she should be thinking about or worried about is vacation and sleeping with random people. There's a lot of other things she should be taken care of, in my opinion. Okay, I don't know.
It's just one angle.
I know,
it's just one observation.
Just one observation. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's been like so long since we've all chatted.
I know.
There was so much that I wanted to say up till now. From what happened.
The words are going.
But hey, the days keep going on, and every day's a new thing with her, right? Mm-hmm. But anyway, so she's supposed to come home soon. I think tomorrow, maybe the next day. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Yeah. So I guess we'll see how it pans out. But I don't know, just my little 2 cents there. Well, I'm anxious to see how it comes out too. As far as the drug thing, I really hope that I'm wrong. Maybe she did put everything down. Maybe when she comes back, maybe she won't drink
she'll
for the
rest.
Edibles.
Yeah, when she's back.
Maybe she'll stop the edibles. Maybe she will stop drinking for the rest of the trip.
Too, but
maybe I just don't think so.
No,
I just don't.
So, whatever.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Marc.
Thank you
for joining us. And thank you, Marc, for all of your insights there. I guess kind of there's another thing I wanted to mention, and it kind of goes into these uncomfortable discussions that Chantal's behavior kind of brings up. It ties in her travel, as well as some of the Natter stuff. Now, when she's talking about traveling, she did another rage, because everyone deserves it, about getting on the airplane and having to have multiple seats, and how the airplane and the airplane industry should recognize that not everyone is a size 2. You don't have to be a 2 to fit on a plane. And there should be more accommodations made for people of size. Okay. Accommodations are made for people of size. She doesn't think she should have to pay for an extra ticket. But if I wanted to bring an extra 200 pounds of anything with me, I'd probably have to buy another seat. If I couldn't put it in the overhead or send it ahead, then you pay for more. That's it. Or fly first class. I don't know what else to tell you. They offer options that are available there. And she says that it's so so commonplace that it really should get everybody's attention. It's not as common as she thinks. I think because she doesn't go out a lot. And, you know, I mean, in the Western world, a lot of us are fat, especially in the US and Canada. I mean, 1 in 3 of us is huge. But 1 in 3 is not 2 out of 3. It is not 3 out of 3. And so we don't make a world that accommodates big people. That's the reason there's not 70 Jazzies at Walmart for mobility scooters for folks to get around. Those are for folks with usually permanent standing disabilities. Could be temporary. You break your leg, you might need a scooter too. Chantal's take on things like that is that I'm as disabled as anybody else sometimes, and used the word disabled like this. I think she doesn't understand that for other people it can be a permanent condition to be disabled, and there are many people who would look at Chantal and be like, I'm no more sad for you and your disability than if you cut off your own damn legs. You can't walk? What happened? You get in an accident? Were you born that way? No? So people can be very cruel about that sort of thing. I don't know. I think accommodations can be made. Ideally, it wouldn't be without a higher price, but, you know, it's not the same. It's not the same sort of thing. The discrimination at the doctor's office. Nobody can get to me on demand, so they're not good anymore. How many times did I cancel? You don't even know. But they weren't there when I needed them immediately. So that makes them no good to me anymore. I blew them off, but when I need them, they blow me off. And they said, call a crisis line. You were in crisis. Call a crisis line. That's what they're there for. That's because people are not available at everyone's whim. You know, when somebody says, oh yeah, give me a call anytime, when you call at 2 a.m, you're taking advantage of the fact that somebody was probably making a nicety and said, call anytime. Call anytime means like, I don't know, especially none of the preventative work for her mental health going away had been done. And she said as much herself. She said, why didn't I think that I would need to be a little more healthy mentally and prepared to go to another... She said, I had a traumatic weekend. Trauma's very relative. I could say I had a traumatic weekend watching it. You know, traumatic weekend and then left on no food and no sleep to go to Cuba. We choose our actions. We choose the situations we put ourselves in. We don't always have the say about the outcome. You know, sometimes people are manipulated and people are abused and people are pushed around. But because that happened prior doesn't mean it's necessarily happening in real time. And it doesn't mean that because something terrible may have happened to her, that she gets to the end of her life, torture this guy either. If a crime's been committed against her or anybody else, charges will get drawn up and it'll go through the court system. And that'll be how it's dealt with. This isn't, you know, Chantal's consequences by me, where she feels like she can personally harass this person for the rest of her life because they broke her heart, because they picked Dee Dee over her. And I'm talking about Nads. Now, mind you, I don't want to see Nads happy. I want him to have a bad life because I don't think he's a nice person. Does that make me not the nice one? Nah, whatever. I don't like him. He never could have put a finger on her and I wouldn't have liked him. He's just not my kind of guy. He's smug, self-centered. You know, guys are guys. You know, when they talk about girls with all that ball breaking, you know, sit around and talk about that girlfriends like they're prostitutes. I know guys like this. They're disgusting. And only other guys like this want to hang out with them. And only certain kinds of women are attracted to men like this, too. So I'll leave that on her. But she chewed up a few nights of her trip, dragging this dumb shit with her. You know, wherever you go, there you are. You're not going to leave memories of Natter in Canada and go to Cuba. You come with you. I found this out when I tried to run all over the place trying to ditch my addictions. Wherever you go, there you are. You're with you. You take yourself with you. So we'll see when she gets back. It's supposed to be anytime, I guess. And we'll see if she dips back into the edibles, which she said she wouldn't probably do anymore. As much. She caught herself saying it and then added the caveat, as much. That's, well, smart girl. Don't tell a lie. Don't tell a lie. If you have to re-say it to make it true, make it true. But, you know, I'd rather her say, oh yeah, until they're going back and getting blazed. It wouldn't be ideal, but it would be honest. So where do we go from here? She's going to probably say she had jet lag when she gets back, even if there was no time zone change. Going forward as well, There will be more Natter and Dee Dee drama when she gets back. I predict, because there's still pending court stuff that she doesn't want to do anymore. She wants him to feel bad, but she doesn't want, like, necessarily bad things to happen to him. But she does, but she doesn't, but she does. Like, she wants to get her way out of him. Like, sleep with me, but I still want to be able to have you arrested on demand. Who are you? Like, who does that? And defends it. And then has a bunch of people paying you, agreeing with it. Like, this is not a normal kind of thing going on here. So, I don't know. If it's not enough for her to be the third in that situation, move on. It's been done. It's been done. So, someone suggested she might have only slept with Dee Dee to make Natter jealous. This is weird. This is so weird. I can't believe it. Is this what goes on? Like, I don't know. In you know, rough parts of town? I've lived in rough parts of town. I didn't think all the neighbors were having orgies. I guess they were. I guess. I don't know. So, she's still doing shit against him. She's admitted to bothering him. More than bothering. Calling me 1,000 times a night or texting me 1,000 times a night is not bothering me. If it happened to her, she could call the police and file a report. He's probably remiss to, because he doesn't want to shake waves with the police and anything like that. She knows this. So she will take it to the nth degree and say, fine, call and say I'm harassing. You're not even supposed to be talking to me. So she played her cards well for the evil villainous thing here. And I don't know. Some would argue, I don't know that I would, but all these things kind of show that she's definitely not afraid of her abuser. She's gone to lengths to get herself back in with him, and he's refused. She showed up with money, and he's refused. She showed up with wine and cigarettes, and he's refused. You know, he's refused nice gestures. He's refused financial gestures. As of late, it seems maybe. Okay. The idea that the two of them have been talking this whole time is really the reality of what's probably been going on. But, you know, when she went on her shopping spree for the Cuba bees the day before when she was going to get stuff to go on the trip, who buys pillows to go to Cuba? You know, that was for somebody else who probably needed some home furnishings right about now. Who else is moving? So, at any rate, this was our take on the last couple weeks trying to get it back to normal. If there was anything incorrect that we had shared or that I had shared, please leave it in a comment below so we have all the most accurate information here so you don't have to like channel surf. So if I missed something, please don't hesitate to leave it below with a little correction. And hopefully you found this entertaining. I'm a little rusty. It's been a couple weeks out, but I hope you enjoyed the video. And Marc, I'm sure, had a good time. Marc, did you have fun today?
I did.
He had a great time. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address, contact info is all below as well. Thanks again, and we'll be live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern for our usual live. Pretty chill, usually pretty relaxed. We got good mods, so if you're free, stop by. 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Marc. Bye.